Hey, Don here. Well, I decided to come back today after my hours of trying to get Fedora 25 64-bit to run some sort of VNC remote desktop app and get it set up and working. I got it running, but I couldn't get to where I could connect to it. I did all the commands they had to do, and I knew there was used to always be a way to do it. Install the apps and then just turn it on and off in the GUI. And I thought, well, I have an SD card with set up with a program that I use called Easy to Boot. That you can put multiple ISOs on there and boot up to. This is my laptop screen over here. It's a little crooked. That's the best I could get it on the camera there, but. Anyway, I put it in Debian's 8.7. That's what I have on there. I think it's the newest one. I don't know if 9's come out yet or if they're still working on it or what. But anyway, there it is. And I have it installed. Let's see, I'll show it here in a minute. But this is just a camera at the screen like I've been doing, trying to get it all set up. But looky here. Go over here now. The way my routers are, you have to do reconfiguring, forwarding ports and all that. So what I did is I just did a TeamViewer remote desktop over to my Windows 7 machine because it's on the same router as the laptop. And so I just made a temporary password. Actually, you can make two of them. It makes a default password there. I guess you could leave it alone, but I changed it. And then I realized, down here you can say enable unattended, and that's what I want. That way you don't have to click on anything. And I put a password in there of my own. And I put that in there. It did have an auto-generated password up here, but it's not very big in the screen because it's 1020. It's set on 1024 by 768. It was that way so that it did it automatically. But since I had both my external monitor and my VGA monitor plugged in, it just did that. It was pretty good because on Fedora I had to go in and set that up, but on Debian it just set it up and there it was, ready to go. So I didn't even really realize that until I said, why is that small? And then I looked over there at the monitor, like, oh, okay, so it's not set at the right, full width of the monitor. And of course the VNC remote desktop always does come through a little smaller than the original resolution as well. So. Anyway, it should be nice and clear. Oh yeah, let me get back over here. Yeah, I think it will be. I think I'll pause it. Yeah, this time I'm not planning on going over a long time, so I'm going to pause that video. There's no audio, so maybe it won't use up all my memory on the machine I'm streaming from. So I just wanted to show that, and I'm going to go see if I can find the GUI app that you're looking at there is called Krfb. I think that's made for the KDE desktop, but it runs fine here in this is a Mate desktop. And when I saw it, I was like, I thought about that 2 or 3 times. I didn't actually remember it today this whole time. But the other day, I remembered there was one that had something to, that was it's a KDE desktop sharing. Now this is just the administration app, and so there's settings in it, and I just left it right there. You could minimize it or whatever. There's settings in there, different things you can set up. There's a help menu. But when I opened it up, this is what came up, and it said, here's your IP, and it had a password, pre-generated password, and then I went down there and set my own password so that, and what I did was I used I use this app right here. Well, that's the app I'm in. Now it made it go away. This is TightVNC. That's what I'm going from the Windows 7 system over to the Debian system here on the Dell 1525 laptop. I'm using TeamViewer to go from my Lenovo i5 Fedora 23 Linux over to the Windows 7 system. And the only reason I'm doing that instead of going straight to the laptop is because they're on different routers and it's a real pain to get through to them because you got to reconfigure the routers and everything. I didn't want to do that just for this. So got to do port forwarding and all that stuff. And I already have the. See, I just like to keep them set up so that I can go straight to my Windows 7 machine because it doesn't have a monitor plugged into it, or keyboard. Well, I think maybe I have a little PS2 keyboard plugged into it. Yeah, I do. I think I have one plugged in there for emergency purposes. But as far as running it, this is how I run it. I don't run it very often, but I just run it remotely. And that way I can, sometimes, let's see, that depends on what you're doing, but some things you can even copy and paste between your host and your server, your machine and stuff. So anyway, I left that up there. I think, maybe KRFB, I was thinking it might be a viewer and a server admin, but I think maybe it's just a viewer. I don't know what this is. See, it did that, and, well, let's do this. We'll minimize that. Okay. Oh, it's K Wallet wants to know, do you want to save those passwords and stuff. So now that doesn't want to come back up. There we go. Actually, I'll just minimize both of them. Oh, you can't. You have to either do it or not do it. Okay, well, I'm going to put it back up. I don't want to accidentally click on any of that. Since this is a live system, I'm not going to configure that, Okay, so normally I don't like things in the way. Well, here we go. We've got 4 desktops to use. As you can see, like on my system, my Linux, I'll get on it. My Fedora system, I like everything. The open apps down here at the bottom. Let's see, like right here. See, they're down here at the bottom, and then everything else is up at the top. That's the way I like it. That's the way I keep everything. And so if I'm going to use anything, I always set it up the way I like it. This one starts out actually like that. Oh, yeah, it does. Certainly does. So see, this is the way I like it. It doesn't have and actually I thought Debian used to come with more apps than Fedora, but now it seems to have a few less than the Fedora 25. But it's got enough to get you started. Definitely would be adding stuff if I was to use it. It has the Firefox ESR Iceweasel version. Well, it looks like there's 2 versions of Firefox in there. Of course, you can add whatever else you want. Has OpenOffice or LibreOffice, I think Fedora 25, and it has VLC, which is my favorite. That's what I'm going to be installing on everything. So, favorite media player. Actually, I might not have already had that. I might, that got installed with, for some reason, that got installed with KRFB. I saw it, so I don't think that was in there to start with. If it was, it just, if something's already there, it'll just not do anything because it sees it's already there. But and it comes up after you install it. KRFB comes up in System Tools right there. Maybe up in the System menu as well. I'll look and see. But the rest of these are all I did. Let's see. I want to go in there and kind of show what I installed. First off, let's look at. Let's see how it's running on here. Let's see. System monitor. Okay, that's that basic graph, which is a good overall. You kind of wait for it to go through, but memory, it's only using 244.1 megabytes of 3 gigabytes. Yeah, see, Debian. That's the good thing about Debian is it really uses. It's the same. It's made desktop, same desktop. Well, I was actually using Cinnamon, but I usually use Mate. That's what I'm using on my Fedora 23 system, and. This system monitor, I like it, but it's not my absolute favorite because you can't search through the apps, and I like to be able to do that. There's another one I use all the time for that. One good thing about it is it tells you what you're running real quick. Domain 8.7 Jesse. It's the 3.16 kernel. Now, I noticed that Fedora 25 was a 4-point-something kernel, so I think after a few updates it might go on up to the newer kernel, though. I probably need to go back and look, but I looked the other day, and it looked to me like, from what I remember, Domain 9 was not completely, it was still being tested or whatever, it wasn't completely released. This one has more things you can do in it, this system monitor. This one is, the main thing I always use is this part right here, but I like the search so I can, and I've got to where I do it by, where's the memory? There it is. Put the memory usage on top because that's the thing I end up having the most trouble with these days. See, whatever's using too much memory, I'll have it on top. And usually, if it's using a lot of memory, a lot of time, well, see, not always. OBS Studio is using 24% on my main machine here, 24% of my processing power. But over here on this one, anyway, this is just a different version of it. Oh, what I was talking about, that search. See, there's a little search box. So if I know a particular app I want to look for, like, I'll just go, there's Crusader, just start searching, and that way, or say you're using, like Firefox freezes up on you. Well, you go over there, and Firefox, if you don't see it right away, then just start typing fire, and you'll see everything with fire in it. If you want to get rid of all that, then you'll know for sure, if you're looking for an app, or if you just want to find the one that's giving the most trouble, then you can also resort it like that, and then you see which one. That one, now it's sorted by the most CPU usage. That's the way I used to always do it, but I started realizing that I'm actually having more trouble on this system with excess memory usage, so that's what I do now. And let's see, yeah, everything's good on my, actually I'm still on the desktop. I'm actually showing you what I'm talking about. But yeah, if I was to resize that video, it would be quite a bit bigger, and that would help. And that's what I would do when we get ready to actually do an install. That's what I don't think I'm going to install Debian on this system. I think I'm going to go ahead and put Fedora 25 on it with the Cinnamon desktop, because I think it's a little more lighter weight than Mate. I guess it's probably a Cinnamon desktop for Debian. That might, if it's lighter, I'll definitely consider that for my older machines, like my Pentium 4s and B4 older, But it's really very close. When just starting out, it's pretty close to the same apps. Only the difference is, the back end of Debian is different the way it works than Fedora. And I'm really used to Fedora. Started with it in 2005. I ran Debian for about 2 years in there as my main OS. But the one thing it did back then, I don't know if it's that way now because I haven't run it much at all since then. The plugins for the web browsers wouldn't be updated as often, and you couldn't play a lot of the newer video formats. But that was back when Flash was the up and coming thing. Now that it's HTML5 is the main thing. I don't even have Flash on my main web browser on this Fedora 23 system, so it might not matter that much anymore. But anyway, because HTML5 is kind of native into the web browsers, You see, so here's the preferences in the Debian system, and oh yeah, I wanted to go into Synaptic. I'll go in here, and there's a control panel. It's got the same name as in Fedora now. They used to all have different names for everything. But I want to go into Synaptic. I really like this Synaptic package manager. I used to run it in Fedora. You used to back in when I first several years, 4 years, 5 years, I was into Linux. You could run more. I didn't even realize that Synaptic was a Debian package. I think I had found an app that would let you install deb packages on the RPM distros, and so anyway, whatever way, I don't remember how it was back then. I just know that you could install them back and forth. It didn't really necessarily matter as much how much it did, but not as much as it does now. Synaptic won't run at all, hardly. It won't run right at all in Fedora anymore. It hadn't for years, but I used to run it as my package manager because I liked it better, liked the way it worked. Now I've gotten used to the others, but anyway, what I did is I looked up a remote desktop server, and then I looked up VNC, and just use that search app there. And let me see, I could probably switch this to show just installed. No, let's leave it like that. Okay, so Krfb, that was the last one I installed. What I did is I started out with searching for remote desktop server, and I found Vino, which was one I knew I had used in the past. I knew it worked well, so I installed that. And then Vinegary is one of the remote desktop clients, to log in to other machines with. I installed those two, but then there wasn't any graphic app, no way to set them up. So I was in the same state that I was in the Fedora 25 system earlier today. So I thought, well, dadgummit. So I just started searching to change my search up, and I just ended up just searching for VNC. And that's when I came across Krfb, and I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the one. In fact, the other day, I believe I had that in my head and then didn't ever get it written down or anything. I wrote myself some notes on what to do, but I didn't have Krfb on there. So I think maybe I'm hoping I'm more smooth out today. My voice is where my throat's sore from talking, so I'm not going to start back on the Fedora 25. I thought, while this is up and running, my cameras are set up, I'm going to show this. So that's what I've got working on Debian, and I'm almost certain that Krfb is available in Fedora. I'll look in Fedora 23 and see. I just thought of that. Going to Yum Extender, and I don't see that in Fedora 25, but that's what I still like is Yum Extender, the old one. But let's see if Krfb is in there in this system, because it seems like most everything that's in Fedora 23 is in Fedora 25. It may already be on this system. I don't know. Could be. I didn't even bother to look. See, I'm getting a little much going for it. Doesn't want to respond, so I'm going to have to stop. I think I'll go ahead and close my web browser. That's not a good sign. If the one that I'm, it does use. If I would have just opened up DNF, it wouldn't really use as much system resources. Let's see what. It's not doing real bad, but just a little. It runs a little, works a little slower while it's searching. It'll take a while. So I'll let's go back over here for a minute. So, let's see. Yeah. And Debian starts out with 4. You can add. It's going a little slow too. Oh, I guess my whole system is going a little slow. I better watch out. I'm going to get things in trouble here. Oh, it's happening, but it's not. Yeah, I'm looking over at the laptop, and what I do is happening. Now, there you go. But it's not showing up on this system. It's because I've got a little bit too much going. There it is. Yeah, it's not installed. Okay. So, you know, if I was to install that, then I don't know. I think it installed a bunch of stuff. I'm going to just do it. Krfb, runtime library, 64. What's that? Oh, okay. And that's some more KDE network applications. Okay, I'm just going to do Krfb right now. I'll install it and see what else gets installed with it. Okay, Krfb libs, telepathy. Okay, not a lot. But that'll, if I don't have Vino, I think I already have Vino. I'll look, see if it's already installed. Or I may have something else installed like TigerVNC or something. I think that's what I have on here. But I just tried for hours and hours to do it, follow the instructions and get it all set up and running through the command line on that live system, and I never got it working to where I got it running, but I couldn't connect to it. So, and I've been doing VNC for years. You know, doing it through the graphic user interface is really very. I mean, once you understand the IP addresses and how to forward things in the routers and all that, that's actually the hardest part of it. Unless you try to do it through the command line, that's even worse. That's just. I don't like messing with that stuff any more than I have to. I got a basic understanding of it. But I can't remember commands. I can't type good. If I give me the commands and I can copy and paste them, I can usually get it done. But if I've got to start figuring out what they mean needs to be replaced into some brackets here and there and all that junk, that's where I got hung up. I'm sure I just did one little thing wrong. Maybe there was something not working right. Could have been because it wasn't ever going to work in a live system that you was going to have to do all that stuff and then reboot. Could have been the only problem I actually had. A lot of stuff like that you do have to reboot before it takes effect. It didn't tell you to reboot, but they don't always tell you that. Sometimes you just got to be intuitive. And most things in Linux you don't, well, not most things, a lot of things in Linux you don't have to reboot to get them to work. I'm going to just search for VNC before I do anything else. Let's see what I have installed. Guacamole, what's that? Well, let's just go down through there. How do you make it? Yeah, I don't know. It's not as easy to sort it by what's installed. Oh, there it is. Installed, available. Okay, let's go install. There we go. Now, what do I have? I have Vinegary. That's a client. That's a viewer. There, TigerVNC server. TigerVNC. Yeah, TigerVNC. That's the. Do I not have? Oh, I don't have the full server installed. I don't think. I think I just have the basic one. So I might need to install. Well, Vino's the one that I'm running on the other one. It doesn't. I don't think it would matter. Let's see. Already forgot the name of the package that I just got through installing. Krfb. Oh, it was over here. Yeah, I don't know if it even shows up there or not. I think it shows up. This is where it was showing up in the other one. Yep, there it is. Krfb. There it is. So all I'd have to do is, yeah, see, it gives you, I'll show you the, am I on the right? Yeah, okay. So this is how it did it a while ago. Saying it has a pre-made password in there, and you can change that. And then what I did was click that and then make my own password. And I'm not going to do that right now. I can do that later. But I don't know if I can 192.168.111. I might be able to go back. Let's see. Well, let's say this Windows 7 machine. Okay, I don't need that running anymore. Let's see, let's cut down on the, I guess I would just, I guess if I want to, okay, I'm got myself confused. Okay, that's my connection to that other machine right there. All right. Oh, that is the other machine, going from the Windows 7 machine. Okay. And VNC. Got so many things going on here. Okay, this is the one that I'm using right now. Oh, I would have to open another window of it. Either open another window or close that one. I think I'll close this one because I'll have too many going. Yeah, so you go up here like in, you can pause it. New connection. This is a pretty good client here. I forgot which one it is. It's not Team, it's TightVNC viewer. Yeah, it's a good client. Somewhere you can close it. And you can send commands like Control-Alt and stuff like that. Oh, full screen. I'm not going to do full screen because, oh, Control-Alt-Shift-F, and that's hard as heck to remember to get out so that you can get out of it. I think I'm already in. Yep, I'm already in. Control-Alt-Shift-F. Do it now before I forget. Control-Alt-Shift. I can't do it. Control-Alt-Shift-F. Oh, I've gotten stuck in there so many times. It's still in full screen. New connection. Wanted to close the connection. Pause. Request. I've got the app in a weird way. It's still what have I done now? There. back to normal. Okay. Got me worried for a minute there. Thought I was going to be stuck in one of them. There's one of them that's, you know, that's a lot. There's like a lot of them you just hit escape or something, or, you know, like Alt F or whatever, you know. That's like 4 different things to remember. Okay, so I'm not messed up. All right, so where is the close connection? Okay, I'll just do new connection since I can't seem to get myself to figure it all out. And I'm going to make that smaller so it won't be in my way. Whoops, now it's in my way. Get it pulled out of there. Put it down here. Now I want the IP address of this machine. I'll just copy it. Should be able to do that. Oh. Yeah, work. Okay, now connect. It's working. Now I have to get over and get that password that I don't remember where it is. Oh, there it is. I wonder if I can copy it. No, you can't. Okay. Move it over to that same workspace so I can see it. If I'll be able to. Oops, where'd it go? I don't think I'll be able to. At least I can look at it and then start typing. PHYC. That's probably gonna have to be a big Y too. PHYC. Oh, PHYC dash. I can't hardly do that. Okay. Oops. PHY. Try one more time. PHY. Already forgot what it was. And plus I can't type all those crazy letters. PHYC. Could change them, but dash. If I don't get it right, I'll change them. CDT. I probably didn't get it. Let's see if I got it right. Okay, so here's what you can do. I'm just going to make it. I mean, this is a one-time deal, so it's not. I'm not giving anything away here. This is not going to stay like that. Now, where's the connect? Which machine am I? Are you as confused as I am? I think I'll have to. I'll have to start it again. Want a new connection. Okay, 111. Now then. Now, see, desktop sharing is connected. So see, the servers that I had on there were, what do you got to do to confirm it? I don't know how you confirm it. Oh, there it is. Accept the connection. Okay, now that's what you would do, and that's a safer way to do it than enabling unattended. Depends, though. I mean, if you're making sure you're only going to do it. Okay, now I'm getting the video feedback because that usually that happens when you connect to the machine you're on. But I'm going through so many different VNC connections. So what I need to do now is go ahead and close that one, but it works. I think it'll go ahead and slowly close them all. But there we go. So it still is. I've been bitching and moaning for ever since I started trying to do this. Where is that graphic? The graphic app that I used to use in Genome Desktop, the one that I found, but on their website, but can't find in the repositories, I guess is no longer there, unless I just can't find it. I looked up everything they said was available, and I couldn't find it. Still getting the feedback. Okay. I'm not quite sure where I'm getting it either. Maybe I didn't close the correct one. Get over here. It doesn't matter. I can close them both. Okay. If you let that feedback go on too long, I think it'll start using up memory. So you gotta take care of it. Yeah, see, my mouse is not working good now. So I didn't see a close. Oh, it's fighting me. It won't go over there anymore. Well, that's weird. I can't get my mouse over there. I can't even control them. I didn't go fast enough. Yeah, when you start seeing that feedback like that, you gotta hurry up and do something about it. Oh, please, come on. Let's see. I don't think escape will do it. I might have to close the team viewer. Actually, I can't close anything right now. Can I close team viewer? Might be able to do that. But I can't, when I try to get down into that window to close that Krfb, I wonder if I can close it from the laptop. I can see I still have my mouse over there. I'm going to close it on the laptop. I don't know if that'll do it or not. I think the one that I may have already closed that connection from the instead of the one I was trying to close. That's what happened. Yeah, because it says Lenovo Wi-Fi. So see, that one's the one that's killing me here. I think what I'm going to have to do is I can't get down there. It won't let me go to it to close it. So, oh, maybe I can do it from here. Yeah, disconnect. There we go. Okay. Now it should start going back to normal. Okay. I think I may have, did I connect? I think I'm still connected. Okay, I'm still connected to the, yeah, the Windows 7 machine. Still connected to that. Get too many things going. Now I see the window of the, am I still connected to it? Let's make it big enough where it seems normal to me. Yeah, okay, so I never did close the connection to the, even though I closed the app over there on the Debian system, I didn't close my connection. So you had to hit disconnect. So I guess, well, that would disconnect it for sure. I'd be doing it remotely, but that would disconnect it. Of course, if I closed the actual VNC window itself up here, that would close it too. So I didn't ever see a disconnect button up there. Maybe I just can't see it. I don't see one there. I mean, you can just close the app. That will work. But, okay, so Krfb is the easy way to do it. There was I think there may be another one for KDE, because I remember another one that was kind of hard to use and stuff. There was some weirdness about it. This one's working great. I love it. So yeah. So there we have our Debian system over there on the laptop. This is a Windows 7 system, and that's actually going through TeamViewer. TeamViewer works a lot faster than TigerVNC. And like I was saying, TigerVNC is slow between Windows and Linux. It seems all right between Linux and Linux. TightVNC or TeamViewer works really well. See, this is TightVNC Viewer that I'm using. And TightVNC is actually the original of TigerVNC. See, well, that's TightVNC too. Yeah, okay. Where did I see Tiger? Well, Tiger is what's on the That's what's on this machine. I remember that. That's what's on my Fedora 23. And I installed Vino, not TigerVNC. So I would recommend TightVNC or TeamViewer. TeamViewer's the easiest, except for it wasn't run on Fedora 25 64-bit. That's what got me into going around and around with all these different apps. And Vino's a good server. There's several of them. TigerVNC server is probably fine. I mean, I think I think it may be the viewer that's slow. I'm not sure. But let's see. Yeah, TightVNC service is slower than, that's what I'm running on the Windows 7 machine, TightVNC, and it is slower than TeamViewer for between Linux and Windows. I think that's the only time I've noticed any real trouble. So anyway, and when you're doing remote desktop like that, you can do whatever you could do if you were there at the machine. You know, you can run all your apps, you can shut it down. Once you shut it down, your connection's gone, of course, because the machine's no longer running. But and you can close the connection by clicking on the little icon up there too, without shutting the machine down, like I just did a second ago. Finally got rid of that. Yeah, and if you, I don't even really can't even quite plan out in my head how come that made such a bad feedback. When I went from, I guess because I'm going to this machine with TeamViewer, and then I came back to this machine with the other one. I guess that's what caused the feedback. If I weren't tunneling back and forth like that, it wouldn't have done all that feedback. If I'd actually been physically on the Windows 7 machine, it wouldn't have done that. But yeah, so you see, you can make nice clear desktop videos like this. And open my thing back. And so see now, I'll kind of mock up what I was. First I want to kind of check on my stream and everything, but I can kind of mock up what it is that that my aim is, what I've been going through all this trouble for. I'll go ahead and pause that. Yeah. Okay, everything's good stream. Okay, so if this is I'm pretty sure then that now that Krfb, I'm going to quit that, will be available in Fedora 25, and it ran right away. Didn't have to reboot or anything, so I should be able to install probably Vino and Krfb like I did on that. What's this? Yeah, it worked with the TightVNC or Tiger. That's what I was using on this machine, was the Tiger. It actually, I think the TigerVNC minimal, where'd it go? There it is. I think that comes with Fedora 25. I think it's already on there. So all you really need is just a Krfb so that you can control, turn it on and off and set the password easily. I think that, because see, I don't have Vino. That's everything that's VNC installed, and I don't have Vino. Let's see if, just look for it. Make sure I don't have Vino already installed. Yeah, see, it's not installed. It's not even coming up. Well, it's not coming up because I don't have it. It's not installed. Now, if I have it under all, then there it is. There's Vino. That's what I put on the Debian system. Yeah, but so either way, Vino works, or even it's just a TigerVNC minimal works. So let's see. Let's see if I'll just look for TigerVNC. Okay, TigerVNC. I believe that is the client. Yeah, there's the server not installed right there. So it's not all coming up yet. The description should be coming up. But see, the ones in black are not installed. So, yeah, I don't even have to have the full server for it to work. I don't really know what the whole difference is, but I've installed the full server, and that doesn't make. I did that today over on the Fedora 25 system, and that does not give you any graphic user interface. I'm just going to close that so I don't have so much stuff running. Okay, so I guess it doesn't help a lot to do that since it's small either way. It kind of helps me to understand what I'm doing a little better. When I see two desktops, it confuses me. Okay, so go over here and get into Synaptic again. I'll kind of double check what I was just saying. I believe I have Vino. And I think TigerVNC is available as well. Yeah, there's Vino right there. That's what I installed. I think I already went through that at the beginning of all this. And of course, we know we're running Krfb. So, and then the client I installed, whatever client that was. It's a client that I had recognized the name of, and some of those other dependencies there got installed during all that. Vinegary, which I believe is the one that I have right. I don't know if that's the one I have right there that I like so much. No, this is a different one. Yeah, that's it, Vinegary. That's one of the ones I like a lot because it'll remember your connections. You can just use a drop-down list. There's several of them that will do that, but anyway, there's several things I like about that one. I think one of the things is you can get in full screen and back out without being locked. I've gotten locked to the point that I had to just hard shut down the machine to get my connection to let go because I couldn't get back to my desktop to get back to run my machine. No matter what, I couldn't remember the command. Well, it's probably that one that I was just because it had those 4 keys you had to hit all at the same time. I would think, oh, okay, I'm going to remember this time, and then I didn't remember it. Anyway, there's one for Debian that used to come with Debian that I really liked the way it worked because out in the garage I have some old computers, and they're CRT monitors, and they're like a smaller. I think they're 1024 by 768, but I would connect. They're Pentium 3s. They're not fast enough to even really do anything on the internet, so I would leave my system inside running and connect out there. And if I need to look something up on Google or whatever, I would just do it remotely. Just use those to look at the weather and the time and stuff like that. Run the calculator sometimes when I was doing woodwork and stuff, and play music. And anyway, I would you could pan by just moving your mouse from left to right and up and down. That's the only one that I've ever seen that'll do that. And so instead of having to try to grab the bars every time, because the screen is wide, it's a 23-inch monitor, it's 1920 by 1080 or something like that. But I'm looking at it on a 1024 by 768, rectangular monitor out there. So I would have to pan. So I would just do that with it, and it would pan. This one doesn't do that. But, this is smaller than the monitor I'm on anyway. It wouldn't need to, but that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of differences in the VNC client apps, the viewers. And what I was going to say, okay, if I were going to do this, I would click on Install, and there would be your installer. I think, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and close my browser to make sure I'm not overrunning the machine, and I'm just going to go in 1 or 2 clicks. And this is the Debian installer. It's pretty quick. It works pretty quick. It's faster than the Fedora installer. Doesn't use up as well. Debian's just lighter weight, even though it's mate desktop. The Debian operating system is just much lighter weight than Fedora. On Fedora, it's just you think it's not going to work. Even on a faster machine, it'll just sit there like that. Sit there. So we'll just get to like this screen because I don't want to start actually installing it or anything. but they're kind of gotten where they're fairly similar is what you see. You know, it's not a lot of difference. There you go. Let's see. Oh, some of the hardware needs non-free firmware. Oh, okay. USB stick and floppy. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go through that one. We just might want to know this in the future in case we decide to use Debian. The missing firmware are these. Okay. This is for, a USB stick and floppy. Well, that's what I'm booted up to. That's actually, or floppy. Oh, it's just such as. What I was saying is it going to go ahead and install the Wi-Fi drivers? Because I always have to go and do that after I get the machine set up. That's why that's why I can't go directly. There's, you know, wired and Wi-Fi on that laptop, and the Wi-Fi, well, it does connect up to my router that I'm on here with this machine. Okay, now what? Okay, some of you needs more firmware. Okay, say yes. Oops. And Debian, I don't think you can install Debian without connecting to the internet. A lot of the Debian installers don't even have a live interface like this. This one does. I got it because I like to be able to, you know, boot to it and look at it. It may be not working. He's going back to the same screen as far as I can tell. See if I can take a screenshot. I don't think it'll do me any good because it's on that live system, but I just did it. See what happens. It's either taking a long time to take the screenshot or it's already happened and it's not telling me. Oh, from removable media. They're not doing it for me. They think I'm going to put a CD or something in there. I wonder. Now it must got tired. Now it's not responding. Probably because I told it to take a screenshot. So it was not telling me. It's not going to tell me you're not doing this right. Or maybe it's looking for that removable media. Oh, the firmware can be loaded from removable media such as USB or floppy. Oh, you probably caught that the first time I read it. No, I don't read and think and talk well at the same time. I got to do one thing or the other. Well, it seems to be hung now. If I gave it the same wrong answer too many times or what, or the machine's just getting tired or what. But yeah, when I try it with the wireless mouse, it doesn't make any difference. Anyway, I wasn't going to install it, but that's cool. Very cool. I'm glad that worked out. Now, everything I've done to this Debian system will go away once I shut it down because it's live. But that was what I was hoping to be able to do, was find another way besides TeamViewer to do a VNC. Can do it on Debian, so yeah. Now the next time, I'm too tired now. Next time I get back onto this, I will try to install Krfb and Vino. I need to write all that down. I just need to write it down on a new sheet of paper. I've already having to flip that one over. Well, I'll do that later. I was thinking better to do it before I forget, but I imagine I can. Okay, let's see if I can get out of that. Looks like I'm stuck in that window. Okay. I don't need to. Let's see. Yeah, if that's stuck, then I can just get out of there. Yeah, when I look at the actual laptop, I don't see anything but that install window, so I may have to hard shut it down. But it wasn't doing anything to the hard drive or anything like that, so it'd be fine. Oh, that's the other thing you probably couldn't install from that. That's that USB stick, and I know it won't install Fedora because I tried it. you should be able. I think I can install Windows from them, but well, it depends. You have to. It'll do fine for live, just running a live system, but for installing, some work, some don't. And there's actually I think to get Windows to work right, you have to use, they call it a USB helper. You have to have another file on another USB stick and plug it in it at the same time. But if you plug them both in and they're both bootable, like mine are, then it's hard to get the right one to boot. And if you try to plug it in later, then you got to get it at the right time and all this stuff. Anyway, I went through all that and ran through the Fedora install a couple of times. It never would work. It tells you on easy to boot. This is easy to boot. I'm talking about the system that I built. My multi-boot USB SD card is what it is. It's an SD card and USB adapter. But the regular old USB stick, let's see. Yeah, I can't shut that down from there. Let me go ahead and shut down that Windows system before I forget. I'm done with it. Shut it down. If you forget and close your connection, then you got to try and open it back up. Okay, so regular USB stick like this one right here is fine as long as it's big enough. This is 2 GB, and Fedora will fit all the Fedora. I think all the Fedora distros will fit on a 2 gig. All the ones from them. You see, that's my Debian over there on the laptop. That's just stuck right there. So I'll just have to shut that down with a hard shutdown. That's fine. That's not a big deal. But that might be I don't know if it happened because I kept clicking the wrong thing or what. Or it could be that I won't be able to run the, do it that way from the remote desktop like that. But that's USB adapters over there on the other side, so it's too far for me to reach. Let's just go back to the screencast now. Okay, so yeah, back over here. Let's see, did I ever? Yeah, I guess I shut that down. So my just go ahead and get my feed back up. I think this is good place to stop. So, well, at least I did succeed there with Debian anyway. And I know I have a plan now that should work. Of course, TeamViewer worked perfectly in 32-bit Fedora 25, but it's not a 64-bit app. And really, I would have known that. I would have paid, if I'd have read my file names and paid more attention, I would have saw that it said i386 in the file name. But actually, I think I did look at them, but I must have been. When things are on a list, I'm really bad about seeing the wrong one from the one I'm supposed to be trying to look at. My eyes swap letters and numbers and swap up and down on lines automatically without any control sometimes. But get back on my live feed, make sure everything still looks good before I go. And a short video, it's going to be about an hour already. So, good though. Then I figured that out. So, yeah, Vino or TigerVNC or TightVNC or probably some of the others. You can turn them on and off. You can do Vino for sure. Let's see, I can do Vino and TigerVNC because I just tried both of those. You can turn them on and off, set the passwords with Krfb. And that's really just a GUI admin app for it. There used to be another one that I used to use that actually came with Fedora, with Genome Desktop. I figured that out the other day when I was reading about all that. But So there you go. Finally. Hopefully that'll work on Fedora 25 64-bit Krfb. It's working on Fedora 23 64-bit. It's there, so it'll probably be there. And so if I can get that up and going, then I can go ahead and do my install on my video with a good clear picture like I was wanting to do. And I'll be happy camper. All right, so I will oh, you can see me in my reflection over there. Hit the wrong one again. I'll come back when I don't know, maybe tomorrow if my voice recovers. I've done so much video in the last few days that I actually have a sore throat from it. That's crazy. It's not that I talk so super much, it's that I don't normally talk. I normally read and watch videos and study and stuff. So yeah, this is my note, sticky notes. So I need to write all that down, and then maybe I can get it right, get it figured out. I got Krfb came in my head the other day, and then I forgot it. I didn't have it written down. I tried to write everything down. I had it all written down, what I could remember, and didn't get that written down. I might not have the right letters, though. I don't know now. So anyway, okay, that's done, and there we go. That's something working for a change. All right, bye-bye. Here in a minute, but this is just a camera at the screen like I've been doing, trying to get it all set up. But look here.